Good morning, everybody. Thanks for clicking on the video and giving it a watch. Today we are going to be checking out the Shepherd of the Hills Fish Hatchery, where they raise the trout and then they release them into Lake Taneycomo. I'm sure they might even release them into some other lakes. I'm not sure, but I know they definitely release them into Lake Taneycomo. So and there's some reptiles inside we're going to check out, and I think they have some information throughout the building as well. So if you guys would do me a favor, if you guys are new to our channel, subscribe. It's free to do, and it helps us grow our channel. So with that, let's go check out this fish hatchery here in Branson, Missouri. Here we got a little map of Lake Taneycomo trout fishing guide. This is where we are right here. And you can see these are all trout access fishing points. These little pink things right there. Some regulations on Lake Taneycomo. It's like 4 trout daily limit, 8 trout possession limit. May include only 1 brown trout daily, 2 in possession. Release all brown trout less than 20 inches lake wide. From Table Rock Dam to Fall Creek, release all rainbow trout between 12 and 20 inches, pole and line fishing only, and only flies and hard lures may be used. Some of the regulations there by the dam. Let's see if I can get it for you. This is tiger lily, western rat snake, and it's got 2 heads. You probably just picking up my reflection, but you can see, I think I can get in it, both heads back there, but that is crazy. A 2-headed snake. Oh, moving a little bit right now. One of the heads. That is cool. Alright, we're going to walk down this little hallway, which is where we'll find some more of the reptiles and snakes. Oh, look at this one. It's an eastern copperhead right there. Check that guy out. And then right next to him, oh, the tiger salamander. A lot of times this guy's hiding when I come in. Actually getting a pretty good view of him. That is awesome. And then below them, the only reason why I know what they are is they have the signs for them. The tiger salamander, and then this one over here was the eastern copperhead. This one here is a northern rough green snake. Look at that one. It's so thin. As thin as a pencil. Pretty cool. And then right above these 3 that I just showed you, they have different habitats for different species right here. If you want to pause the video and read that little information right there. Show you some of the pictures they got over here though. Upland forest, oak and hickory trees make up most of the upland forest. Then you got some red fox, the gray squirrel. See squirrels all over the place. The woodpecker. Glades. Ooh, is that striped bark scorpion? I don't know if I'd want to see one of those ones. Eastern collared lizard. Texas brown tarantula. Roadrunner. Salamander eggs. The beaver, I've seen those around here. Hey, the great blue heron. And the belted kingfisher. And the bottomland forest. This guy here hanging out in its water dish is a western rat snake. This is a regular one. This one's only got 1 head, not like tiger lily that we saw at the beginning with 2 heads. That is so crazy. This is the first place, well, probably the only place I've actually seen a living two-headed creature when I started coming here doing videos. This guy here is a three-toed box turtle hiding in its little rock shelter there. Oh, and up next here is the Texas brown tarantula. Look at that guy. Right out here in front for us to see. Texas brown tarantula, wow. And then right above those two little, the tarantula tank and the three-toed box turtle, we got wildlife at the hatchery. Maybe some of the wildlife you can see around here. Got the mink, the turkey vulture, oh I see those around, the white-tailed deer, the butterfly milkweed. And then next to it, it's got some information about the White River watershed. Table Rock Lake and Lake Taneycomo are part of the greater White River watershed, which collects water from portions of Missouri and Arkansas. Got the little map there. Pretty cool. Right next to that, we got oaks and hickories, important members of Missouri's forest. You got the bitternut hickory, the white oak, the mockernut hickory, probably saying these wrong, the raccoon, the cardinal, the gray tree frog. So yeah, that's a little look at the little hallway there with a few different reptiles, some snakes. And then I do think I forgot to say at the beginning, this fish hatchery, Shepherd of the Hills Fish Hatchery, is free to check out. It doesn't cost any money unless you want to go outside and feed the trout. They do have some food feeders outside you can get that take quarters. You get like, put in a quarter and you get like a handful of food. And they do take only quarters, but they do have a change machine in here. So if you got some dollar bills, $1, $5, or $10 bills, it looks like it takes, you can get some change here. If you forget your quarters, just make sure you have some dollar bills though, and then you'll be able to feed the trout. This wall here has a tale of two lakes, talking about Table Rock Lake and Lake Taneycomo. Table Rock Lake, in 1958, Table Rock Dam was completed 22 miles upstream from Power Site Dam. The water released into Lake Taneycomo from the bottom of Table Rock Lake is cold and averages only 48 degrees. Oh, look at this. Shepherd of the Hills Fish Hatchery opened in 1958 to supply trout for Lake Taneycomo. It is the largest of 5 cold water hatcheries operated by the Missouri Department of Conservation and provides a reliable supply of trout for stocking statewide. That's pretty cool. So they opened the same time the dam was finished. And here's Lake Taneycomo. Was created in 1913 when Power Site Dam was built on the White River. It created a small warm water lake perfect for swimming and bass fishing until Table Rock Dam was built upstream. I still have yet, I say it every time I come here, I still have yet to make it to Power Site Dam. I still need to go check that out. I have been here though, the Dewey Short Visitor Center. So if you want to go check that out, I think I have a playlist of that. I did a couple videos there as well. I think they're closed this time of year though. So, a tale of two lakes. Check out this mural on the wall here. I always try to get this. This is way cool. That's of Lake Taneycomo. You got all the forest, if that's what you want to call it, all the trees around it. You got Chateau on the lake, hotel over there. And then you also got Table Rock Lake Dam over on this side. Such a cool mural there, right there. And they do have, as well, a little trout, and my reflection, hi everybody, little trout tank here before you go outside and check out the raceways. Looks like some rainbow trout Might even be a couple brown trout in here. These ones with the stripes. Oh, look at that guy. Oh, that one's pregnant right there. That's got a big stripe on him though. Rainbow. This one up here might be the brown. So it looks like they got some rainbow trout and the brown trout. We'll be heading outside, braving the cold here in a minute to go check out all the raceways. And then right across from that fish trout tank right there, they got non-stop cold, hard, wet work right here. A little information about the hatchery here. Raising fish at the hatchery is a difficult 365 days a year. Hatchery staff work every day of the year to raise more than 1 million trout for fishing in Missouri. Fish need daily care to grow strong and healthy. Hatchery staff work outdoors year-round in all weather conditions to raise trout, rain, snow, or heat. The work doesn't stop. And the protective gear, specialized equipment, cold temperatures. Oh yeah, you can see there's some snow on the ground there on that picture. Feeding the trout. A feed truck dispenses fish food to most of the outdoor raceways 3 times a day. It takes more than 1,000 pounds of fish food each day to keep the trout growing. Wow. There's also hand feeding as well. A few outdoor raceways are fed by hand 3 times a day. Fish food made of fish and vegetable meal, vitamins, minerals, and cod liver oil is specially designed for their growth. Flushing the waste. Staff flush fish manure from the raceways and divert it to settling ponds every 2 weeks. And they got to clean the raceways as well. Cleaning the raceways. After trout are stocked, the empty raceway is drained and power washed to remove any algae, bacteria, and parasites. Fish health. A few fish will inevitably die. Staff check raceways and remove dead fish daily. Constant monitoring. Healthy fish need constant monitoring. Staff check water flow and water temperature and dissolve oxygen daily. Monthly sampling. Trout are sampled to monitor growth. Preventing overcrowding. Growing trout are divided to prevent overcrowding. And stocking the trout. Trout are ready to be released when they reach 10 inches long. Thousands of trout are released from a stocking boat throughout Lake Taneycomo each month. Some of the trout are transported throughout Missouri for stocking in other cold water streams and lakes. So, yeah, a bunch of information there on this fish hatchery. All right, I do apologize for any wind noise as it is windy today, and we are gonna come outside and brave the cold. The temperature, when I looked last, was 43 degrees, but with the wind, it says it feels like only 29 degrees out here, so we probably won't be out here too long, but I do want to showcase everything out here. These are all, I do apologize for the wind noise. These are all the different raceways. These are all filled with trout, all different sizes of trout. This is how they raise them here. And there is a bunch of information out here as well with some signs about the raceways. Tanks of moving water. What is a raceway? Raceway is a hatchery term used to describe a pool of moving water. The large concrete raceways are 100 feet long, 12 feet wide, and usually have about 2.5 feet of water in them. Raceways and fuel tanks operate year-round, and it is cold right now. Wow. We're gonna have to make this quick outside, guys. And right here are a couple of the fish feeding areas where you can get your trout food right here. So as I said, inside they do take quarters, so if you don't have any quarters, make sure you try to bring your change, or they do have a change machine inside as long as you got dollar bills or bills less than $10 bills. So what the kids love doing this. What we usually do when we feed them is we bring one of our cups from home, so we can get a bunch of food in a cup and they can go around and feed them. The kids absolutely, Clay and Skylar love feeding these guys. I'm actually not too sure how well we're going to be able to see the trout out here today because of the clouds. It's making the water really dark, and most of these raceways do have this little netting above it right here, but they do have, I can get under here a little bit. I'm still not sure how good that's going to pick up the trout, but yeah, there are probably hundreds of trout in each raceway. I mean, it is really cool. Definitely, if you're taking a vacation here in Branson, Missouri, I'd recommend putting this on your list here. Come check out Shepherd of the Hills Fish Hatchery. Like I said, it is free to check out unless you want to feed the fish. Then bring your quarters. This one is information about feeding the trout. A meal served by hand and truck. Feeding this many fish is a huge job. About 1,500 pounds of food is required daily. Crazy. There are some fish in these little ones too. I'm not sure. Those are some huge fish right there. These guys are out of the raceways that have the netting, so I'm not too sure what they do with these ones in here, but yeah, there are just so many trout. You can see the workers out here going through, inspecting it. Fishing out probably the dead ones like the sign said inside. Inevitably, you're bound to have some dead trout up here with raising this many trout. But yeah, way cool. I'm hoping it's coming out on video, the trout. But like I said, the water is dark. So I'm hoping you guys are able to see it a little bit. See them. They probably want some food. Seems like a bunch of them are following me as I'm walking down here. I wanted to walk to this end, show you guys all these raceways. The filters are all on the end of them to filter the water, help keep all this clean. That section right there seems like it's got some light in there. You might be able to see the fish right there swimming through a little lighter area of the water. But yeah, and the fish hatchery is right next to Table Rock Lake Dam. And if you guys have watched any of my Lake Taneycomo Park area videos, where I record those, are just the Lake Taneycomo is right down, right over there, and right on the other side is where I record those Lake Taneycomo videos when I'm walking around. So down on the bottom of the lake. Yeah, little look at the filters here. Oh, this guy's splashing. So it is cold, but yeah, there are a bunch of raceways here. Like I said, with tons and tons and tons of trout. Oh, this one's real dark. Man, this one's really hard to see the fish. I don't know if I zoom in, if it's zooming in on the net, or if you can see the fish at all. You can kind of see them splashing in the water a little bit. Oh man, that wind is a killer out here. Whew. All this time I've been coming here, there's this little waterway right here on the side of the raceways here, and I actually see trout in here. I didn't know there was fish down here as well. There's some trout. I don't know if you guys can pick it up, but there's actually some trout and fish in that little area right there too as well, in that water section. There's a bunch of them actually. And as you can see how close we actually are to Table Rock Lake Dam here in Branson, Missouri. I mean, it's right by the dam, so pretty cool. Gives you a good view spot of the dam as well. So you kind of kill two birds in one stone coming here. You get to check out the fish hatchery and get a cool little view of the Table Rock Lake Dam. I did want to walk all the way to the back corner. Here's a little look from the back corner, all the way in the back, but they do have one raceway back here that has none of the netting or anything over it. That you can see the trout a little bit better. I don't know about today if we can see it any better, but on normal days when it's not cloudy and the water's not so dark, you can see these guys a whole lot better over here. There's actually a bunch in here today. They almost kind of look like sharks. You can see their little top of their bodies out the water. Top of their fins cruising on the top of the water. But yeah, so if you walk all the way to the back, there is a viewing spot that's got some trout in it as well. Good thing trout love cold water. I'm sure that water is cold, as Lake Taneycomo is, where they release them into. So yeah, so now I'm all the way in the back, and in case you walked all the way into the back and you ran out of fish food, or maybe you got to the back and decided, you know what, maybe I want to feed some of them, they do have a fish food machine in the back here as well that you can put your quarter in. So if you run out of food and you're all the way in the back, you don't have to go all the way to the front. But there's a little look at the raceways and outside here. I'm gonna head back towards the front though and get inside because it is cold out here. Kind of leave it running a little bit as I'm heading to the front for you guys. You guys can just kind of see like I said, these raceways are all full of trout. I'll head this direction unless they're pulling them out to stock, and then they'll be empty. But yep, I'm really hoping the camera is picking up these fish, but because there is a bunch in there. I mean, there is a bunch of trout in there. These guys look to be like, I don't know, 4 to 8 inches, 6 inches, probably 4 to 8 inches. Pretty cool. And I'm assuming these big guys over here are part of the filtration process as well. Hydrotech. It says on there. There is a sign right here. Water system, the main source. If you want to pause the video and get some information on that right there. But yeah, pretty cool. One last turn around and look at the outside raceways here as we're gonna head inside. Make sure I didn't miss anything inside I wanted to show you guys. So pretty cool. If you guys are into fishing or trout or anything to do with outdoors and fishing, like I said, raising fish, raising trout, definitely a cool place to check out that has a bunch of information on it, and you can actually see the process and see a bunch of trout, all different sizes. Oh, I did notice I did forget this wall right next to the information about raising the trout and how it works, and right across from the trout fish tank inside, this is some information on the egg to fingerling. Raising trout takes time. It takes 18 to 20 months to raise a 10-inch trout. Wow. A lot of work and good science goes into raising trout. Hatchery staff must spawn, carefully monitor, feed, and move fish throughout the process. Follow the trout life cycle from egg to release and see what it takes to reel in a healthy trout. 1. You're sorting and spawning. Male and female trout are separated during the spawning season. Number 2, the sedative tub. Trout are sedated to make them easier to handle during spawning. Where's 3? Hand spawning. Male trout. Males are spawned by pressing the belly to release the milt. Air spawning. The female trout. Females are spawned using a needle to inject a small amount of oxygen into their belly to release 2,000 to 5,000 eggs. Oh wow. Fertilizing the eggs. Wow. Eggs and milt from several trout are mixed in a pan along with a mild saline solution. The incubation jar down there. Fertilized eggs are placed in incubation jars in a hatchery building. I guess here's a little look at the eggs right there. 7, the sac fry. Hatchlings are called sac fry because they have a yolk sac attached to their belly. Then you got 8, the swim ups. Trout swim up and start feeding as the yolk sac is absorbed. The swim ups are fed by hand every 30 minutes during the day. Oh wow, they gotta feed them by hand every 30 minutes. 9, fingerlings in a fiberglass tank. As they grow, the swim ups are moved to larger tanks and fed with automatic feeders every 30 minutes during the day. Trout fingerlings are moved outdoors when they grow to 3 inches long. So once they hit 3 inches long, they move to the outdoor raceways. So, yeah, a bunch of information here. Oh, they got a little classroom area here. I was walking out and they said there's some more animals in here. Oh, this guy's looks like some kind of frog toad back there. That guy's pretty cool looking. Yeah, I know the schools come here on field trips. Probably a pretty cool educational place to come. I think Skylar and Clay have come here once. Maybe 2 times on a field trip. I know at least once I think they've been here. Look at that little guy. That's pretty cool. Oh, we got something over here. Let's go check this guy out. A turtle's story. This is a red-eared slider. Oh yeah, you can see his shell. Poor guy. Its shell, if you can see it through the reflection, is all messed up. Let's see. It says some information here. This red-eared slider, nicknamed Celo? I always pronounce names wrong. Was found in Table Rock Lake in June of 2015. Unusual shape is likely the result of trash wrapping around its shell. The shell grew around the debris over the course of 3 to 6 years. It's healthy except for an odd-shaped shell and reduced lung capacity. Turtles and other wildlife can become entangled in trash. Help keep Missouri clean for the benefit of everyone that lives here. So most likely something got wrapped around it. That's why it's got the misshapen shell, but still living on. Look at the size of this guy. Let's see what this says. This says World Record Angling Achievement, National Freshwater Fishing Hall of Fame World Recognition. Brad Wright Trout, brown trout, it's a brown trout, September 16th, 1998, 25 pounds, 5 ounces. Division 1 rod reel, Lake Taneycomo. And the line test class was only a 2-pound line. Caught this 25-pound brown trout. Look at the size of that. Can you imagine catching something that big? That is crazy. I wanted to give you guys one last look at the 2-headed western rat snake tiger lily. Doesn't look like it's moved much, still in the same spot, but one last look as we head out. So cool. All right, everybody, that's going to wrap up our video here today of the Shepherd of the Hills Fish Hatchery here in Branson, Missouri. Leave a comment down below if you guys have ever been to another fish hatchery, if it's trout or different kinds of fish. I'd love to know the location and how cool. But this place is pretty cool. Like I said, if you are vacationing here in Branson, Missouri and looking for something to do, I'd definitely put this on the list. It doesn't take, well, you can make it take as long as you want, but it doesn't take too long to walk through, and it is free unless you want to feed the trout. So if you want to feed the trout, make sure to have your quarters or some smaller dollar bills for their change machine. But if you guys would hit that thumbs up button, and if you guys would do me a favor, if you're new to our channel, subscribe. It's free to do and it helps us grow our channel. And if you do feel like you want to help support our channel a little bit more, go ahead and hit that join button or the link in the description to our YouTube memberships. We have 6 different levels starting at only 99 cents a month. And all the different levels come with early access to our videos, which means you will see our videos before everybody else gets to see them. So with that, thanks for watching. Thanks for clicking on the video. Check out all our other videos. And if you guys are new to our channel, I am Zach, and we will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.